Good luck. Right, hopefully that is live on Facebook. If so, hello everybody from Cambridge and the world who's watching this very exciting repeat prevents or even presents interview with two of the most exciting young bands in Cambridge, who are Pockets for Girls, who are turning up soon when they can be bothered, and Monoliths, who are here now and are all going to say hello in a very fetching way.
Hello.
See what I mean? Now, what we're going to do to start with is, while we share the video stream around social media so everybody can't ignore it, we're going to just show a little video of one of your songs. Does somebody want to explain it? I've got a question about it later on, but if anybody wants to explain a little bit about this work of art, please do.
It's an alright song.
I think I hate it. I hate the song, honestly.
It has a very deep meaning.
Yeah, it says a lot about things which aren't said in the song. Do you know what I mean?
Bro,
Complex lyrics.
what isn't said in the song?
What isn't said, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much every
that's
word.
what you got to look into.
Well, we'll look into it now then. Fingers crossed you can hear it and it all works. Here we go.
Who here likes Oasis? Who here loves Oasis? Can someone get a glass of water down here, please?
Right, that seems a long time ago. What was it like looking back at yourselves playing live, went back before it was forbidden?
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous of my
Cringe.
past self.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that now. I do miss it.
To be honest, the crowd was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was a really good show.
Yeah.
People
That was my first gig, I think.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so-
Thomas only joined like at the beginning of 2020 or something, wasn't it? Or
No,
December.
No,
last
it was
year.
Yeah.
yeah,
December.
it was like
Yeah,
November
yeah.
or something.
Sick
If you just
day.
joined us and wondered what you've walked into, it's a interview live, no less, with Monoliths and Pockets for Girls, and we're being joined by people all the time. If you're joining us, please share the stream as well, and also if you want to leave a comment or even a very hard question, that would be great. So, oh, here we go, a comment already. Martin says, great band. So
Aw.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martin.
good job. I do pay Martin regularly to leave positive comments on so the check's in the post, Martin. Okay, first question then for Monoliths is this one. It's a traditional repeat starter for 10 points. The Monoliths, who, what and why? Or as you might say, who are you?
That's good.
Very
one.
good
I like
question.
That. I like that.
Thank you.
Hello, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm Johnny, and I do the the singing and the guitar.
If that's what you can call it,
Yeah, singing might be a stretch.
I mean,
Uh,
what are you talking about the singing on the guitar?
I'm Gennaro. I do the other guitar and the other singing, if you can also call it that.
Well, you definitely can call it that.
No,
Well,
yeah,
like-
you can, yours is singing. Johnny's is the questionable one.
I'm Thomas. I play the bass, so I'm basically not part of the band, but Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
bassist does.
he's just
Don't
the one who
forget
stands
you-
there and looks cool. You know, we do need him for that, though. To be fair,
Yeah, he's not cool than us.
I'm James, and I'm the drummer guy. And yeah, but Johnny, how would you describe?
Shout out to Jorge.
Yeah. There are other members which can't be with us today, such as Jorge, who plays cowbell. And I can't think of any others, but oh yeah, who are we?
I think that was who. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
what you are and why you are.
Yeah, so what we are is like it's hard to say in terms of genre, but we definitely play music.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely make some noise. And why do you do it? You've got nothing else better to do, really, I think.
We
It's a
enjoy
good way
it.
to fill
That's
time,
about
isn't
it.
Yeah,
It's we like to express ourselves, and we like to
Build up atmospheres.
yeah, we like to express ourselves rather than trying to
Play
join
football.
some sort of genre or trend. You know, we
yeah,
just
man. We're
we
not
just
like
play whatever comes to us.
Bro, we're not like everyone else. We're kind of original. People copy us.
Yeah, that's happened many times, and I could
What
prove it.
was the last thing that people copied us with?
I just don't want to tell.
Oh, that's a good point, because then more people copy us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't have that. We've got to stay original.
That sort of fits with my next question, which is you do seem to have a mad mix of styles, don't you think? Do you agree with me when I say that? Like that,
Yes.
that Oasis song we play is like 90 seconds long and is extremely short and punky, but also you do mad epics that go on for hours with lots of intricate and noodly bits on synths and all sorts.
Well, we did a half an hour jam session the other day, band practice. We just uploaded
They all end up that long, really.
to be honest, it's true.
We're just not skilled enough to actually stop the jam or come to an end,
Yeah,
so
we
just carry on.
don't know how to end them.
We
I'd
just
say, okay,
Yeah.
I'd say about the sort of big old sort of mix of styles. It's kind of we
like
we just kind of have ideas, and we're like, oh, you know what would be really cool if we did a punk song, or you know what would be really cool if we did a half an hour song with just sort of atonal and improvised guitar pedal stuff, and then we're like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a cool idea, let's do it. We don't. The question for us isn't what would the Monoliths do now? It's just like, what do we fancy doing?
and
Yeah.
we call it the Monoliths genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's monolithic.
Monolithic, yes. So how would you describe your sound to a deaf person who had come from out of space?
Unimaginable.
Well, I mean, they couldn't hear us, so
Yeah,
I'll
to be honest,
probably
it's
just
deaf
I'll
alien.
just put them in a dark room and just show them weird lights, a weird light show, psychedelic stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Sound and sign language.
so I was wondering if, because you do seem to have such a mix of styles, who your musical heroes and heroines are, if they're from a broad range of genres. And so on. Like I know Black Midi is one that Johnny really likes. I mean,
And Thomas loves.
Oh, I love Black
Midi
Midi.
as well. Yeah, they're probably a big like modern influence. Like we like what they're doing at the moment, and we want to do similar stuff, but we don't want to do the same things.
I mean,
we don't
I
copy.
guess
Yeah.
I guess influences would be like new stuff, idols.
I was not too keen on the newest one though.
The newest album is cool, but it's very samey.
Yeah.
All the songs are quite similar.
The Beatles, Pink Floyd, Thingy. What was it? Your one.
Who's one?
I,
Alright.
The one with the screaming face.
Oh yeah, King Crimson.
King
Yeah,
Crimson.
no,
King Crimson.
King Crimson is the best band ever.
No, King Gizzard. King Gizzard.
Oh, nah, not even.
The King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they're my favourite band at the moment, I think.
Oh, that's interesting.
What do you mean that's interesting?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess this is why we got different genres
What's
inside.
your-
Yeah, no, I quite like that about us because it's like we're all influenced by quite different stuff. Like I, for example, I'm into a lot of heavy metal and also electronic music. So we don't. I think that's also part of the reason why we have such a mix of styles is because we did when we made the Monoliths, we didn't decide, oh, let's make a punk band or something like that. It's just like let's make some music and then all of our separate influences sort of come together into something completely new. Like Johnny's vocals, I'd say, are quite sort of maybe Black Midi inspired. I mean, they're also very just Johnny in general. It's sort of not very comparable to anything else. And then my drumming is very heavy metal, and Gennaro's guitar is very kind of classic rock kind of stuff. So we're not really bothered about the fact that they might not necessarily go together. We just shove them together and make it sound good.
I mean, we just have fun experimenting with new sounds and whatever we can come up with that sounds decent.
It's about fusion because why rehash what's been done and all that.
It's like we don't go into making a song with like a genre in mind. We just want to play what sounds good.
Yeah,
and if we like it, then someone else out there must like it as well.
We're trying to
all vibe together,
expected and sound good. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about how you come to write the songs? Do you do it all together? Does one person do the lyrics?
It varies song to song. I think generally it's just me writing lyrics, but musically, a lot of it's down to just playing together and improvising for like long periods of time.
I mean, we might be in a band practice and something.
Yeah. What someone will do is they'll have a song.
We might be in a band practice and something sounds good, and then we just decide to make a song.
Yeah,
just be in our own houses and something sounds good. So.
No, exactly. So someone will show up with a song, and everyone else will write their own bit. So
you kind of just build off what you get given and then make something out of it.
Exactly. We've not got one songwriter. It's like a collective thing. We just figure it out.
Yeah.
And trust each other's opinions on it as well, which I think is very important. So it doesn't just it stays a collective vision rather than a singular.
Something else that's quite important. We're not afraid to say when we don't like something or not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If someone plays something and they're like, "How does that sound?" They're not going to just, "Oh yeah, that's fine." They're going to tell them
on honesty and.
The whole point of it is trying to improve it and make something that's overall better. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to make the best song we can.
Mm-hmm.
So no one can get in the way of that.
So coming back to the question about genres, you'll be pleased to hear. I've lost the comment now. Isabel says about her son Luca. It was a great performance at the Portland Arms. You inspired Luca a lot. So there is the start of the Monolith genre, starting off in the young people of Cambridge.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Luca.
Thanks, Luca. Yeah, I remember that.
Keep it up.
So apart from musicians, which other heroes and heroines do you have, as in maybe artists or writers or sports people or politicians or anybody? Any other heroes or heroines?
I think as an artist, I really like Stanley Kubrick. I think he's part of he's similar, and he never decided he was going to make just horror movies or stuff like that. He just decided he wants to make his horror movie, and he made it like he would for The Shining or sci-fi movie or whatever. And he wouldn't do the same thing twice. Each one is like an individual piece of art. But you can tell he's made it, and that's a big inspiration, artistically, personally. How about you guys?
I think for me, music. I don't really know if I've got any anything other than music stuff, but definitely I get inspired by David Gilmour, Hendrix, Paul McCartney, all of these. that just, I don't know, they make what they want. They might.
Hendrix is another really good one because it's such like a singular, like voice artistically. I think that's the sort of things we like. It's something unique and not something you could find anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? I know another really good writer would be Albert Camus. He's got some influence on lyrics, but I don't know if that sounds really pretentious.
Sorry.
Not from a Manic fan being pretentious.
Yeah, no, Manic Street Preachers. I fucking love Manic Street Preachers.
Thinking about Camus, they quote him on their first record sleeve. So
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and actually, Richie from Manic Street Preachers, he's quite he's unique voice lyrically and stuff like that. It's, you know, another inspiration really. You know, how about Thomas James?
Well, I was just gonna say, I think I don't think we have, at least not collectively, we don't really have a specific kind of political idol or inspiration or anything like that. But I think we are kind of sort of our energy might be partly inspired by stuff that happens in politics, etc. You know,
Give an example, James.
Yeah, James, give an
I'm
example.
not going to give an example, but you know, I don't know. If you're particularly angry about something, it's good to think about that.
There's a lot to be angry about.
Yeah, we make angry music because it's not very.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and the inspiration for that anger comes from a lot of different places, and obviously politics is a big thing for that, for everyone really.
Yeah,
you've always agreed to do gigs for Love Music Out Racism, thinking about causes and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, since lockdown, that's become an even bigger issue with Black Lives Matter across the States and across Britain and across the world even.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Thinking about the musicians, you know, nearly all of them are from the early 70s or before, apart from Idols and Richie Manic. Do you wish you'd been born in a different decade, and if so, which one?
No, I don't think so.
I think we're good.
Yeah. I don't want to be one of those people that preaches about being born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, but if you had to.
Oh, I don't know. 90s. I think the 90s are sick.
No. So to have grown up by then or get born by then.
Oh, I think growing up in the 90s must have been cool.
Well, I mean, the reason why we get inspired by all these people from the 70s, I guess it's just because of what we said before of trying new things, see what sounds cool, which was a lot of it was happening at the start.
Exactly. Maybe if we grew up in the 70s, we'd be more inspired by 50s music, you know?
Yeah. No, and to be fair, we're inspired by a lot of sort of newer music, but it's all throughout the decades. I think if it's good music, in our opinion, good music, we'll seek it out and we'll try and listen to it. Like
not even, man. You don't like when we
like a lot of shit music as well.
We just come across music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like KXP, that's brilliant. Music.
Me and Thomas, we watch a lot of the radio station in America, and they've got a YouTube channel called KXP, and it's just full of new music. So it's
so good.
It's got like Black Midi on it, sometimes
Idols, King Gizzard.
So big.
It's this really cool French band called Slift, and they've all got what guitar is it, Johnny?
Is it SG?
Yeah, SG.
Yeah.
They got the guy bass got a bass SG, and the guitar's got an SG. It's really cool.
Are they the one with the same synth as me as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
the singer's got sideburns.
So what's you can give them a plug.
Yeah,
Slift.
And the name of the radio station?
KEXP. It's a really good one. You just follow it, and then you wait till you see a video that you like the sound of the band name.
Yeah.
And you just watch it. You don't know what you're gonna hear, but you know, most of the time it's quite good.
Here's a question that's sort of connected with what you were talking about. Who would you choose to devil jam with if you could choose any band, alive or dead, musician?
Ooh, for me, it'd be Robert Fripp of King Crimson.
The Devil Jam.
Mastermind. Person. Oh, no, wait. No, I wanna jam with Geordie Greep of Black Midi. I think
Or-
Geordie Greep. I really want to jam with Geordie Greep.
Honestly, if it was to jam with someone to the Devil Jam, it'd probably be Jack Black.
Yeah,
That would be quite
Yeah,
an enjoyable experience.
I'm going with
that would
Gennaro
be
on this one.
amazing.
Or,
Jam in general, I guess David Gilmour for me again.
yeah, for sure.
Why not?
Said one of They Have Lost Track, has everybody said one? Yep.
Yeah.
Say one, James.
Oh no, I haven't
Except
seen one.
James.
I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's I don't really have the same kind of sort of idols and inspirations as you guys. Like I don't because I like lots of bands, but I don't really tend to get into the members of the bands. You know. So I couldn't name a single member of like 90% of the bands I listen to.
Now, what about Deadmau5?
Well, yeah, that, but I'm not gonna Devil Jam with Dead. I mean, maybe.
No, you could make it
Why
sick.
not?
Yeah.
You can make it really cool.
No, yeah, I like Deadmau5. That would be. I mean,
Oh, do you know who might be quite cool to Devil Jam with? Ozzy Osbourne on vocals.
Yeah.
Oh,
See what he brings.
Yeah.
See what he brings to it. Well, would bring.
Mm.
That would be
A lot
great.
of drugs.
Get him to come down to Portland next time.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can invite him. I'll let
So
him.
if Ozzy's watching the Facebook Live right now, yeah,
Yeah.
come down
Hit
with
us
us.
up. Come on.
Yeah, hit us up on Instagram. Message at the Monoliths.
There are people watching. If anybody's watching wants to leave us a comment or even a question, because it's bound to be better than mine, please do. There's a couple more questions that I've had that I haven't asked yet, but I'm going to keep going with mine for now. So before lockdown, I felt that your band was getting a bit of head of steam up, a bit of momentum. Things were starting to go really well, like the band competition and big gigs at the Portland, and offers of things in the Junction in the future. And now lockdown has kicked in. How are you trying to keep the momentum going so that you can hit the ground running? That's a song. Hit the ground running once we're out of lockdown, if it ever happens.
Well, at the moment, what we're trying to do is see, but before we started to focus on how we'd perform a song, and sort of stuff like that. We'd be writing songs for the performance, and now that we're just essentially we're the only people hearing the songs when we play them now. It's almost
The neighbours.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, no, the neighbours definitely hear, and they get pissed off. So that's the only like feedback we're getting other than ourselves.
At the moment, we just got lots of songs like in the works.
Yeah,
We haven't necessarily finalised or seen how audiences react.
Yeah,
you got to play it live a few times before you decide on the final version of the song. And even then, until you record it, you still don't even have to decide on the final version. Like like a few of our songs we've played differently every single time we've played it.
I don't think even after you've recorded them, they have to stay the same though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
And during
that's what-
lockdown,
the songs how we play it, it can change as much as we want it with the composers. You know.
during lockdown, we tried to start recording some of our songs. It was a bit hard, long distance, but some stuff was recorded, and we might try and re-record it now that we're all together.
We've recorded the F Oasis song. We're in the middle of recording our cellos song, and making it even longer and even longer.
Even longer.
What we're trying to do is sort of really focus on every aspect of our songs at the moment before we record them, so that we can make the best recording we can, as a sort of this is the Monoliths, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Make the best piece of art we can, essentially.
Yeah.
What about merch? Are we talking keychains?
If you guys wanted, we could start making merch. But we'd have to hand make it.
Yeah, no, we don't have the financial capability.
Well, not
to do
not
anything
even
like
that. Not even that. We'd have to hand make it. Like,
Buy
just-
2 get
Oh,
1
what,
for
just
free
to
for
fit
the
the
people
Monoliths
watching the
aesthetic?
live.
yeah. That's our aesthetic.
What would
there.
it be? We had an idea for
Um,
t-shirts where we just burned holes in quite expensive pieces of clothing. And
Yeah.
so it was monoliths.
Oh,
Or
I wasn't aware of that idea.
Oh, I think that might be me and Johnny then.
Oh yeah.
I can't even remember that.
I
one.
wasn't aware
Yeah,
of that.
Never mind.
Might just be you.
I made that up. I
I
tricked
think
you.
that's
That's a cool idea though.
Yeah, no, just we just repurpose old clothes and fuck them up.
I'm gonna ask a question. Somebody's just stumbled into the room watching us, perhaps not knowing what she's come into, because she says, "What is the name of the group? What style of music do you play?" So don't spend too long answering that, because you've already answered it.
The
We're-
Monoliths, just
We're-
watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, we're the Monoliths and we play music you probably wouldn't enjoy. It's alright.
Yes, search us up on YouTube and see if you like it or not.
Indeed.
And if you don't like it, carry on watching it until you do.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. What are the highs
Bring
and the lows of
yourself
the band?
into like that, yeah.
What are the highs and the lows of the band so far, would you say? Highs and lows.
But band
The
con
first
was
gig that
quite
went
high.
well was a good feeling.
We
Where
haven't
was
had that one yet, James.
that? Outside Tesco's, or where was that?
I'd say it was. I think we figured out what we were doing. The first time we played the Fuck Oasis song.
Yeah.
But that was one just before Thomas got there.
Yeah, that was in relevant records. That was
Yeah, but then
Oh, I
really
went
fun,
to that.
'cause
I
it's
went
quite
to
a sort of
yeah.
intimate. It's quite an intimate sort of venue.
Yeah.
And then we were just
we
Johnny was just
ignored that
screaming
fact. Yeah.
Just
Uh,
that was so fun.
It was quite funny because it's a cafe, but
Yeah.
you guys were jamming out to Fuck Oasis, and me and my friends turned up, and we were in a completely different mood. Everyone was sitting down having tea.
I mean, highs. Thomas joined the band. I don't know
Yeah.
if we
That
mentioned that.
was. I think when Thomas joined, that was a sort of solidifying thing. It was everyone was on the same page there.
Hey.
Josh is here.
Hey,
Hi, Josh.
Oh,
Josh.
We'll
What's
talk to you in a bit. I might be very rude and mute you for a bit until we finish.
Here's another member of the Monoliths.
He's a secret member of the
Thank you,
Monoliths.
Josh.
Yes.
honorary member.
I nearly muted the wrong person. I had another question in my head then, which is now gone out of my head totally. Oh, yes. Here's a great question from a Paul who's watching. What concert has changed your view of what a gig should be? Thinking about what you said about relevant records, the difference between relevant and a big venue. I mean,
Like
especially small venues, isn't there?
a concert we've watched or a concert that we've played.
Either. What has sort of changed your concept of how a gig should be?
Well,
When we played at Portland Arms, I remember the one that really struck me as, okay, this is what it should be. I remember it was the one shown on the video there, because
yeah,
everyone was just jumping around. There was
Mhm.
someone crowd surfing, and everyone was enjoying it, and you could just feel the atmosphere. So, as long as we could get that could be a perfect concert for us.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
all about the atmosphere.
I think for me, when I discovered Dillinger Escape Plan YouTube videos of their like live shows. If you don't know who they are, there's this metal band from like the 2000s that just did that most absolutely mad shit on stage. Like they like climbed up stacks of amps and jumped off of it, and you know did all that kind of stuff. And I just loved that. It's just absolute madness energy. It's like if you look at any individual thing they do, it's like, you know, if you told someone what happened at the gig afterwards, then they'd just be like, why? What was the point? But then, like, when you watch it, or if you're there, then you just get it. You know, it's like, it's just, you just do mad stuff for the sake of it, because it's exciting, because it makes you feel energetic. And I feel like I really sort of take that inspiration for our
it's
kind of
like
gig.
if you're physically able to do it on stage, why not?
Yeah.
Or wise words coming from Johnny there.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple more questions for Monoliths. I see that more members of Pockets for Girls are turning up nice and quietly. So we'll talk to them in a few minutes. If anyone else has got a question for Monoliths, you better get it in quick, because they'll be quiet in a minute. So I'm going to mute them. What's next for Monoliths? That's quite a big question, isn't it? Isabel asks, are you all going to be studying in different parts of the country? Do you intend to keep the band going? If that is the case, yeah, you said that you've been rehearsing and working on new songs, but assuming we ever get out of this pandemic, what's your next moves and how you're going to pan out if you're studying all over the place?
Well, as we said before, I think the next thing is just try and finish every song and record all of them to try and make an album.
Yeah, because we're not sure how it's going to go. As everyone goes to university,
we're all looking at different universities.
Yeah, so what we want to do before then is finish the album as just like a lasting, that's what
the
we
lasting
did.
or the beginning or something.
Yeah, no, it could be the beginning. We're not saying anything, but
we'll see how it goes after university.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well, I suppose
no.
Let's try and play at the Junction as well, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I want to do that.
We definitely want to do another gig. Like the moment we're allowed to again, we want to do another gig because it's a high you cannot beat. Don't know about you guys, but
no, I agree.
Yeah. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
You're right.
So, because the lockdown has shown us that you can actually make music and not be in the same room. So there's you're studying all over the world that you can write and record songs.
That is true.
Video calls that we had with Johnny, trying to write stuff.
No. Me and Janara have been using video calls to write songs for way before lockdown.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it does help.
I even believe that Johnny has collaborated on singing a particular Ramones cover.
So with the famous Richie Rose of Repeat Records
and Carwyn Mogford of DDT playing the bass. So
of course,
of Manchester Music School, no less, as well as Swansea.
I mean, we all make music outside the band to an extent, especially James. He's in his own right an amazing electronic producer, and actually one of our best songs is actually just an electronic song which we repurposed for the band.
Oh yeah, I remember. No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Who Are You? One of our songs. Oh yeah. No, that was something. It was last summer of 2019, I think. And I was at Johnny's house. I think we were like writing songs or something. And I was like I found this song that I made on my phone in this free app called Auxy, where you make electronic music. And I even at that point, the song's already like a year old. Like I just made it a year ago and forgot about it. And I played it, and I was like, oh, this is quite cool. Do you think we could, at that point I wasn't even thinking about playing it in the band. I was just like, oh, do you think you could learn that on guitar and we could just play it right now? And then it sounded quite cool. And Johnny was like, oh, I could write some lyrics for this. And then we ended up playing it at a gig like 6 months later, like 6 months later.
Yeah. It's probably one of our best songs. So.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, definitely the one we spent the longest. Well.
Yeah. Well, one
longest from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we all make music outside and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So last question for now, because I see your Pockets for Girls are patiently waiting. This is the last question for now, even though if you can hang around, there's a joint question all at the end. How can people hear your music and why should they bother?
They can find us on SoundCloud and they can watch videos of us on YouTube and Instagram.
There's the YouTube page.
And for anyone watching this right now, which is everyone on Facebook, we also have a Facebook.
Yeah.
And more active on Instagram, I'd probably.
Definitely. If you want to
follow us on Instagram.
If you want to follow us and stay up to date on us and everything, definitely Instagram rather than Facebook is the place to go.
The Monoliths.
Instagram is at the Monoliths.
Why should?
I mean, we're all pretty chill guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Calm down.
We're just
some
a couple
time to
dudes being dudes.
If you just want to chill and vibe to some atmospheric stuff, or just enjoy your time, just listen to it, see if you like it.
Yeah, it's listen to our music. It's like a podcast with influence.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for the friendship, man.
Good. Maybe that's a good way to stop the first half of this section. Well, don't go away. If you're able to hang around, maybe mute yourselves if you've got the skills. If you haven't, I'll do it for you. I'm going to talk now. Thanks to people who are watching, by the way. There's quite a few people watching, and there's questions coming in. Please keep sending them in. So now we're going to talk to another exciting new Cambridge band who are Pockets for Girls, who I'm going to unmute or ask them to unmute. Doesn't seem like I can do it myself. There we go. Sully needs to be unmuted. No, there we go. Excellent. Right. Here we go. Right. Pockets for Girls. Do you all just want to say hello? Just so I can check your mics.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think that's all working. Excellent. So are you ready to go straight into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right. Excellent. I've found my first question. I've got to just change my mind. Okay. This is the sort of, okay. Pockets for Girls. Who, what, and why?
Good question.
That is a very good question.
Big question. 3
Hmm.
little words. Who, what, and why? Who is easy?
I'm trying to think the best way to start this. So unfortunately, Huey's not here right now. But it's me, Josh, Will, and Sully, and you.
Rupert.
And Rupert. We've got a fifth member that not a lot of people know about called Rupert, and he unfortunately hasn't been able to come to any of our gigs so far.
What does he do?
Pardon me?
What does he do in the band?
He's kind of the mastermind behind it all, to be
Yeah,
honest.
he writes a lot of the songs.
He does do quite a bit of the managing there.
Yeah, we've sort of used him to sort of help us plan things out for a while, and he does a lot of the production and mastering and things like that just add like this extra dimension to the band, especially seeing as he's not always an active part of playing the gigs and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of us. We met around this time last year, actually. We had our first day of college and we all bumped into each other. There was a little group of 7 of us, and we sort of just became best mates for a while at that point. And I remember sort of having a conversation with Huey. I was going, oh, I really want to write some songs. We sat down, wrote a couple of things together, and then Will and Sully kind of just organically joined the band from there. And then Rupert joined a couple months later and said, yeah, we can be a really tight little unit if you'd like. And we just sort of evolved from that point.
Yeah.
So what would you say your music is if you were to rudely pigeonhole yourself? Because I remember sort of shoegazy, sort of loud thing, and then obviously the stuff you've done in the last 9 months has been really, really different because it's been acoustic sitting under trees in Grantchester. But that's probably the nature of the time we're in, is it? Does anybody want to describe the sort of music you do for people who are watching who don't know?
Well, we've been described as sort of fitting into this shoegaze genre of music, so quite sort of wonder and things like that. But I think it's quite hard to shrink it down to one sort of genre.
Definitely. I think that for us, we've been playing around with our sound quite a lot. And because of the way we write songs as a band, it's constantly evolving and changing. And, you know, if you listen to some songs that we wrote in the earlier stages, they're more jazz influenced, and you can definitely hear some of those shoegaze roots. But some of our more recent stuff's definitely been sort of leaning more towards like this, as you said, almost like a Nick Drake type sound. And we've got elements of Fleetwood Mac in there. It is really difficult to say what it is, but I think shoegaze is probably as close as we can get.
Because you've had some interest from some quite well-established bands in Cambridge. I'm thinking of Deep City and Lemon Days, 2 bands that I really love, who wanted to put you on it. And you would have played with Deep City if it hadn't been for the pandemic, is that right?
Yeah, it was such a shame. We literally,
that was the weekend of, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
And then the weekend after that, we were going to play the Junction as well. So it really hit us hard when it came.
We were so excited for those, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Well, I was going to say, like Monoliths, you seem to be full of momentum in February, March, January, really going places, people turning their heads and listening, and now that's all had to grind to a halt. How have you managed to keep that momentum going over lockdown and pandemic?
Well, I think that one thing that for us as a band has helped us stand out at times is that it's not always been purely about the music. I think for us, a lot of it was about, and this comes from the element of friendship again, a lot of it's been about the photography side of it, a lot of it's been about the fashion side of it, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's been really important for us to just keep that moving forward throughout lockdown when, you know, we really can't necessarily meet up to produce the music. And then when we were able to, just focusing on that as much as possible. it's kind of difficult to say though, isn't it? You know, we're just doing what we can at this point.
So would you say that you see music as part of a wider array of arts and so on that you're involved with? And if so, can you tell us a bit about some of those other things you're involved with?
I mean, Sully, do you want to talk a little bit about all the acting you do and stuff?
Yeah, well, I suppose we're all quite creative characters. I think that's fair to say. Well,
apart from me.
Apart from Will. No, Will's got quite a lot of flair. I think
I play the drums.
that takes creativity. But yeah, I mean, myself, I am a massive fan of acting, things like that. So I guess for me, it's just sort of another method of expression. I know Josh has made music in the past, amazing music, by the way, that I think fits into that same expression category. So for us, it's not always about the what we're creating, it's about the method we're using to sort of create this. So having that creative outlet of music has really helped us develop, and especially as a friendship, because for me, this is mostly about, you know, us getting closer, and I've really enjoyed that process with them.
Excellent. That's interesting, because the Monoliths, of course, include a very famous actor. So that's interesting that people act and make music at the same time. Which bands in Cambridge and beyond and the world do you particularly admire?
That's a really interesting question. I'll let the others start because I can go on forever with this.
That's a tricky one for me. Because
I've Pixies for you, Sally.
But yeah, no, I am a massive Pixies fan. Oh my god,
good choice. Yes.
I don't think the day has gone by where I haven't had "Where Is My Mind" stuck in my head. But I just sort of, there's so many bands, especially in Cambridge. I think I'd be remiss to sort of pin it down because there's just so many creative talents out there. I think Josh introduced me to, was it Strawberry Lace?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, their music incredible. Massive fan.
They are amazing. Their frontman Ryan Bainan, I know, has been in central Cambridge for quite a long time, and they met at CRC, and they gigged really intensely in Cambridge for a few months, and then they've sort of gone up north and then eventually worked their way all round and back down the country. And that really is like an amazing thing to see. They've done some incredible stuff that, as Sully's right, has just pushed us to produce bigger and better music, you know.
So I don't want to make you name bands if you don't want to, but what about if you were going to be on a festival and you could have 3 or 5 bands supporting you or playing with you from the past or from now? Who would you like to choose? Any of you? Don't worry about the exact number, just a few.
That is
Pink Floyd. Monoliths.
Monoliths, yeah.
Monoliths, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's for me, Strawberry Lace would definitely be up there. If I could, I'd bring Slow Dive back and have them do some shoegaze stuff.
Oh, wow.
I think at the minute I'm really loving Fleetwood Mac, and they seem to be a bit of a band of the times, so that'd be great.
You have to talk to Seymour once we can gig again. Seymour in Bury St Edmunds, because he loves Slow Dive as well.
Oh, awesome! Brilliant.
So, he does know about you, so hopefully when the Hunter Club is back up and running again, you go to play in Bury St Edmunds. How do you write your songs, particularly at the moment with lockdown? Have you been writing songs?
Yeah, so we have. And this is where Will really sort of undersells himself a little bit. Is Will started the interview off with "I'm just the drummer," but he's written some really, really beautiful acoustic stuff. We've just been sending it back and forth, you know, just sort of playing around with these different ideas, and then, as I said, just sending each other these things and working on them from there.
Yeah, we've just been making ideas on our own and then sending them across to individual people. So I think Huey's got songs that I haven't heard, and Josh has got songs that Huey hasn't heard. But we're working around to it. It's just difficult in a minute. We've all got a lot.
Yeah. Go on.
A flying zebra has just turned up. Is that somebody to do with you?
Yeah, that's me. That's Huey. So my phone's, that's my phone's name. I just got out of work.
Good job. Good job. As I'm introducing people, thanks to everyone who's watching. There's a good number of people watching. If anybody wants to put a question in the comments, I will do my best to ask it, because they might be better than my ones. So I think going back to the songwriting, is that what you've been using the period of the pandemic to do, as in to write individually and then to bring the ideas together online or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix really. I think that the band started with me and Huey writing songs together, and then it sort of spiraled off into this super interesting dynamic where we both have our individual songs that we kind of front, and then we bring in elements for everyone else. Towards the latter part, where we were sort of able to meet up and do sort of like a very strange kind of recording session, we took one of Huey's songs that he wrote individually, and then we ended up just layering it as a band, and that meant that Will had a chance to come and do guitar parts. Sully was doing backing vocals, you know. It was wicked.
Excellent. Interesting, because it is really frustrating, the period at the moment, but bands won't get this period of being at home for so much if you go on to be successful ever again. It's normally madly frantic, and you want to use that time, even though it's really frustrating. That's what the Wild Hearts said as advice, and they've been playing for 30 years, so I believe them. So I was going to ask you about your recordings. Anyway, can you tell us a bit about the recordings that you've done, the ones that are they on SoundCloud that you've done? Who did them? How did you do them? What have you got that's going to be released released soon, maybe?
Yeah, so I think as lockdown first started, it was really interesting for us because we had a chance to do the online Strawberry Fair, which was, again, incredible opportunity. And that was at the stage where there was absolutely no way for us to meet up or do any sort of creative work together. I ended up taking the lead on that one and sort of putting something together myself and sending it around the boys for different tips and tricks on mastering and things, and that got sent off. And then a little bit later on, we ended up meeting up and we did The Boy Who Never Cried, which was Huey's song that we were talking about earlier. And that was I think for us, we had this moment of unity where we were like, wow, this is one of the first things we've actually put in concrete as a band that really feels like all of us together rather than one of us leading the charge and sort of trying to work around that. And then a really good friend of ours and our longtime videographer, Jem Donnelly, really kindly offered to come out and film us to do our thing that's on SoundCloud at the minute, the Grantchester sessions. And in the end, we actually just set up the like a one condenser microphone, plugged it into a laptop and just prayed that it wouldn't run out of charge. And we sat at Will's girlfriend's house and we mixed and mastered the whole thing together in one afternoon and then put it straight on SoundCloud. So that's the story behind that. So people can find that if they search for Pockets for Girls SoundCloud, do you think? Yeah, definitely. Pockets for Girls, capital letter on all the first words, but I think we come up pretty accessibly. I don't think there are many other bands called Pockets for Girls.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
There's a video of you doing the same thing on Gemma Donnelly's YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah. That's true as well.
I was going to play out with.
We recommend checking out her stuff because she is absolutely amazing and she's helped us out so much along the way.
I had a little look at her page. She's done loads of stuff, hasn't she? Yeah, she's brilliant. Yes. Here's a question I wrote yesterday and I don't understand it. Why shouldn't we trust them whales?
Oh, you definitely shouldn't.
Just don't do it.
Really don't trust the whales.
We don't. This is something.
It's nothing personal to Wales. It's just a little.
We just don't trust.
We've had bad experience.
Jake. Well, we could say the story about the song we made.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
Yeah. Well, this was during the while Josh was mixing for the Grantchester project.
Yeah.
I think it was me, Will, and Huey just started randomly making music, just sort of improvising lyrics as we were going, and out of nowhere came this strange fever dream of a song about how the whales are taking over, and it was I don't know, it was crazy.
Yeah, we did Don't Trust the Whales and Hell in a Handbasket, which was a Western song that Sully sang.
Did you get a noise complaint for that one?
We got a noise complaint. Sully couldn't stop singing about Hell in a Handbasket.
It was a catchy tune though.
It was good. It was really good.
So just in case my neighbours are listening, this is Wales with an H, not Wales, the country where
No, we love Wales.
We love the Welsh.
We love the Welsh.
That's all right.
We love Wales too. We just had a moment of distrust.
Yeah.
No. It's one of those things where it's like you love them, but you just can't quite trust them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the sea the whole time. You can't see what they're doing, I mean, no, I'm joking,
They can't see what they're doing. They're so massive.
Yeah,
exactly.
Brains of dolphins, either, have they?
On a bit more of a like a serious note though, the I think for us the reason why it was so significant to leave that little ad lib in was just as we said earlier, like the music that we produce is just all about truly expressing ourselves as a little community of 5 people, and it just felt really authentic, so we just decided to leave it in.
Right, good point. So if you were thinking about the best and worst bits about lockdown and maybe things you've learnt during lockdown, would you say maybe the recording is one of the best things? Has anybody got any best and worst things about the last 6-8 months?
The worst thing is definitely not being able to rehearse together at the start, because a lot of the time we were sort of rehearsing at school in the big sort of hall we have at school. But then that obviously wasn't possible when we all had to socially distance and isolate. But and I'd say the best was probably when the rules relaxed slightly and we recorded the Grantchester project, and obviously The Boy Who Never Cried. We started on that, and it was just so nice to get to see each other again and record some stuff, and even just playing and just like at Grantchester Meadows with guitar, not necessarily anything serious, but it's just playing together, and after a long time, just nice.
Yeah,
definitely. With that was the thing. We had this moment where we all sort of got a bit emotional, and we were like, we haven't played for 6 months, but we still remember the feeling of playing together, and we picked up on it, and it's the best we've sounded, potentially ever.
Really good.
That must have been very reassuring and gratifying at the same time.
It was just such I can't fully express it. It was a really nice experience, especially after the sort of like process of recovering from some of the struggles of the pandemic,
Yeah. I've got 2 or 3 more questions. So if anybody who's watching wants to send in a question, you need to send them fairly soon, and then we'll talk to all the bands together, both bands together at the end. I've got a couple more questions myself. What have you got in your pockets?
Oh, that's a good question. What do I have in my
Let's have a
pocket?
look.
Face mask.
You're allowed to lie. Yeah.
Oh, we can lie. The universe.
Yes.
A whale.
A whale.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Damn it.
And you could go on from that to explain the name, maybe, if you wanted to.
Oh, this is one I get quite confused on, because I don't think even we can remember why that's a name.
It's an important social cause in feminism.
Yes.
If I have worn women's jeans in my time, and I try to put something in my pocket, and it's like sticking out half my phone, and I feel immensely vulnerable, and it has to change. So I feel quite strongly about that.
Yeah.
I think it was just something that like we'd heard our female friends talk about quite a lot, and in the case of, well, I can kind of join Will on this. Every time I've worn a pair of girls' jeans as well, it is just uncomfortable and seemingly unfair. And it was kind of a light-hearted way on touching on a bigger issue, which I think is what the band stands for. It's just about bringing people together and finding ways to help each other out.
Bringing them together in larger pockets, basically.
Exactly.
Yes. That's
Good
a good point as
well.
Program clothes for women, just not just clothing. Some things are just done ridiculous to be different. Here's a very difficult question. Come from somebody called Johnny. I don't know who he is. What are your favourite animals? Obviously whales. Apart from whales,
Defaku lemurs. They're my favourite. The way they run around is just it's amazing.
No,
I've forgotten mine.
You've forgotten?
I've forgotten what mine is.
Really interesting as well.
Johnny, what's your
it's
favourite
really
animal?
So it's very difficult to pick one. It feels very exclusive, doesn't it?
Yes.
At the minute, I've got a bit of a soft spot for monkeys. I've got a bit of a dream of rescuing a monkey that can't be rehabilitated to go back into the wild and keeping it as a pet and like nurturing it almost as if it's like my child. Other than that, I'm a big lobster fan, but whatever it comes down to, it just can't be right.
I am a massive fan of honey badgers. I love a good honey badger.
Badgers will do for me. Yes, I was going to say badgers, and if you can see that little, he disappears because of my stupid background. I've got a little badger. Yes, I've got a load of badgers all over the place. Badgers is a good answer. Anyone else got any view on animals?
I just want to say, whilst I have the chance, one of my favourite animals whilst they were still around was the bats.
Good thinking. That's a good answer for Johnny. Yes, the bats. Good job. Yes. And if you've got a bat CD, you're very lucky. If you've got a bat badge, you're even more lucky because they exist. Right. I think it's probably the last question for you lot on your own. But it's a bit of a big question. How can people hear your music and why should they bother?
Right. Here's where I'd like to say, whilst we have the opportunity, we've got some stuff coming. It is in the works. As I'm sure everyone's absolutely sick and tired of hearing. It's taken a while right now. But recording The Boy Who Never Cried was a big thing for us. It signifies the start of something important. We've decided to title our next album Sully Sounds. And we're just kicking about some initial ideas at the minute. But once we find an opportunity that will allow us to do it safely, hopefully things will just fly along and we'll have something for you guys shortly. Other than that, we are on SoundCloud as well. You can also find some of our individual music that feeds the ideas behind our music. I'm just Josh Tingley on everything, and Huey's just released a really, really amazing album as well, which is on all streaming platforms. It's just Huey with a full stop.
Yeah, my time, your time. Yeah.
There you go. And
beautiful stuff.
Other people can explain why. Why bother?
You're really good.
I think you know, why not? I think I mean, you can't lose anything, and you know, you might enjoy it. I think you will enjoy it, definitely.
I think, to be fair, like something that I am a firm believer in is that the way in which we write songs has enabled us to create a sound that's legitimately not something that you'll find anywhere else. I don't think that you can listen to any other band and think, oh yeah, that's what Pockets for Girls sounds like.
I think that's a really good answer. I think that's why I put both the bands on this thing this afternoon, because there's lots of really good bands in Cambridge, lots of really good young bands, but there's not that many that are totally original and got their own voice. And I think both of your bands are heading in that direction. So I think when you release your stuff, you should make a big deal of it. If you were like write a little press release or a little thing and send it to me and other people, and they'll put it up on their blogs and give yourself a bit more.
Really appreciate that. Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, thanks. That would be
Where
brilliant.
are you going to put these new tracks? Are they going to be on SoundCloud, on digital platforms? Where are you going to put them?
When we have the chance, we've talked a lot about the fact that we really want to do something big, and we don't know quite what that looks like, but we want to put it absolutely everywhere and anywhere, and maybe come up with something that people haven't seen before, haven't seen in a while, and release it that way too.
Right, interesting.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, I haven't told the band this either. I finished mixing The Boy Who Never Cried yesterday, so that's done.
Oh,
Perfect.
So very, very soon.
So it's coming together fast, is what I'm hearing.
Excellent. I'm going to ask the I almost called them the bats because everyone's talking about the bats on the Facebook feed. The Monoliths to come back in. I'm going to unmute them and they turn the videos back on. So 2 questions for them. Have we got everybody? Thomas is. I've asked him to unmute. I'm going to put everybody on. Oh, we've nearly got everybody.
Hello.
Johnny's too busy writing
Hello.
questions.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Right,
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So here's a question for everybody that Yaz has kindly sent in. What will your first COVID gig, post-COVID gig even, rather than a COVID gig, look like? Your first post-COVID gig? So that is a good question, isn't it? Yes. Anybody who wants can answer, just interrupt each other.
One thing that I don't know how much we really thought this over, but me and Johnny had this idea a really, really long time ago that if we can bring the 2 bands together, it would be absolutely awesome to just kickstart it with something massive that just combines us perfectly.
Yeah, two drummers, 4 guitarists, 2 bassists, and like 8 singers.
I don't know. We were thinking of doing a virtual gig, weren't we?
Yeah, we could do a virtual gig. We can figure that out.
Wasn't there an idea about a garage or a field gig?
Yeah,
The acoustic field one.
it's going to be hard now with the rule of 6, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think as soon as that relaxes, which I don't know when it will be, we're going to jump on the opportunity and make it happen because it'd be so fun. Obviously, we've all missed it so much performing.
Exactly. Yes. It is really hard, isn't it? I find it. Yes. Right, that's a good question. Right, altogether, this is the last question then. Thanks everyone who's been watching. We're going to go out, hopefully watch a little bit of Pocket for Girls video. The only one I found was the one in Grantchester. I was just going to play it from the beginning, just play the first track. Is that all right? Unless you want me to skip somewhere else?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Thanks everyone who's been watching. Don't disappear because you want to watch the video. It was a free gig this afternoon. If anybody wants to donate to Love Music, Hate Racism, which is a cause both bands have supported in the past, there's a little link at the top of the video which you can click. If you can't donate, maybe you can share the link or something like that, because I know money is really short at the moment. Right, this is the most difficult question, even harder than the one about the animals. So I hope you're prepared for this. And I might go around the screen looking at the order you are on my screen. So what's best, chips or cream buns? Chips or cream buns? I'm going to ask Josh to go first because he's top on my screen.
Well, that's a very difficult question.
I told you it was. I did say.
I think the only way to do it is to have the chips followed by the cream buns, because you've got to have both savoury and sweet, right?
No, all the way around.
You have to get your daily exercise
at the same time. Mix them all together, I think.
Chips in a bread roll, does that count? There's no cream there. Will?
Chips, just chips.
I probably agree. Solly?
I would have to say chips as well, perhaps with a little bit of salt.
Interesting. James?
Oh, chips. No, no question.
Gennaro?
3 years ago, maybe the cream thing, but now definitely chips.
Flying Zebra, have you already answered by saying it backwards? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's all right. Thomas?
Chips, yeah, you can do more with them, can't you?
You certainly can. And
More
Johnny?
versatile.
I know cream and buns is a good combo.
Oh, get out.
I'm saying it's cream and bun.
You're outvoted. Martin says chips. So Martin started the event and he's finished it with his comment. Thank you. Thanks everyone who's been watching. Don't disappear because we're going to watch the video from the field in Grantchester. Does anybody want to tell us from Pockets a little bit about you just sitting around in a field in Grantchester? Is that all it was?
It was one of the hottest days of the year, and we decided
It was boiling.
we were going to do it, and it was amazing.
The
It was so
hottest
fun.
day of the year. It was literally the hottest day we had this year. We just thought like we can't go any longer without putting something out. So we just braved it, got together.
Yeah, I think we did it all in 2 takes, didn't we? It was just quite fun.
Yeah.
The synergy was.
Remember what the first track is?
It's called Eudaimonia. It's one that me and Huey wrote together at the start of the year.
Here it goes. Fingers crossed. Thanks everyone for watching. We got any sound on that? going to stop it there. I know the sound was very quiet at the beginning, but you can go to YouTube and watch it yourself. If you Google Pockets for Girls Cambridge, that video comes up. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for being there. You can all wave at your fans if you like. Don't forget to follow on social media. They are all on Instagram, and Monoliths are on Facebook as well. And I think some of them got YouTube accounts as well. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be doing something else soon, but I've forgotten what it is. But it'll be great. Don't worry. Right. I'm going to click goodbye to Facebook.